This debate has been requested by many of the subscribers, so it's a must. Shout out to those subscribe. Shout out to those keeping the movement, the eye test movement, not only the eye test movement alive, but the movement of the people. To where we have a voice, we can speak on shit. We don't need the media to tell us this. That's why I made the eye test. The media don't gotta tell us who's better. We can see eye test and the breakdown and all that shit. I appreciate y'all. So we're gonna do all these fan requests for y'all. We got Anthony Towns, Karl Anthony Towns versus Anthony Davis. AD, two monsters, two skillful bigs, more skillful than the norm. Transcending big men players, which are more on the perimeter and more out there rather than a Shaq or a Karl Malone, more post up type bigs. But two very proficient and great players. And we're going to break them down with the quickness. So let's get into it. First, offensively. Who's better offensively skilled? Now, Anthony Davis can put up the numbers. Anthony Davis is a scoring machine as well. But I got Karl Anthony Towns for that reason right there. He's a better post player. He's more imposing in the post. Whereas Anthony Davis almost plays like a 7-foot wingman, a 7-foot guard. He's more liable to be out in the perimeter to take jumpers rather than to call for something down and low in the post. Anthony Towns also is a shooter too. He can shoot very well. He's outside and inside. So with scoring, I would go with, or better offensive player, I would go with Anthony Towns. And as a result of that, I will go with the better post. His post play is the reason. He's more inclined to be inside that 5 to 10 feet area. He's more inclined to ask for a one-on-one in the post. He kind of more so has the traditional post style of play, jump hooks and such like that. Whereas Anthony Davis, like I said, is more perimeter. That would lead me to jump shooting. As I said, Anthony Towns is a great shooter. Like, don't get it twisted. You can't leave none of these players open. But Anthony Davis, I seen him go on spurts to where he doesn't really miss. He's just in a clicking zone. And it's been for years now. Karl Anthony Towns is coming into his own. I think about his first or second great year. This might be a second very good year coming up. He's only been in the year, what, 2 years, 3 years? Where Anthony Davis has been going on his run and has been a decent shooter for a while now. So I got Anthony Davis for the jump shot, for the three ball, as well as the mid-range. I got Anthony Davis in regards to defense as well. If you notice, AD would guard the elite big more often than Anthony Towns. If Anthony Towns might not guard the best big. He to me, he appears bigger, but he doesn't play bigger than Davis. Like, I trust Davis more so to get the rebound, more so to be a dominant defender, more so to be a better shot blocker than Anthony Towns. And I don't know if that just equates to his mentality or what. But as far as an imposing, domineering figure, I got Anthony Davis. Pick and roll, I got Anthony Davis. I think pick and roll is a category that we have to touch on as bigs. They use it so often that it's an essential part of every bigs game. They have to come up and set a pick for the guard now. It's a pick and roll heavy dominant league. And Anthony Davis has that. He's a great pick and pop artist. He's just good at setting one. And also, we can transition to something else. The intangibles. We love the intangibles. And intangibles is an eye test thing as well. It's just something that doesn't get displayed on the stat sheet to make it truly external. You have to, like, garbage time, or not garbage time, but garbage put back rebounds, or just diving on the floor. Just the stuff that seems minuscule, but it matters in key situations, and championship teams want players with the intangibles. I haven't seen so much of that from Anthony Towns. He's more raw, pure skill. Probably potentially the best skill big in the league, I believe, in maybe a couple of years, to denounce Cousins or Marky Mark, and Mark is getting old, but Anthony Towns is potentially the most skilled big, but as far as intangibles, I don't think he has that covered. Anthony Davis always is going to get a good rebound, or always is going to be around the ball where he needs to be, whereas Karl Anthony Towns is not so much. I don't really trust him to get offensive rebounds or to box out, just do the essential things that don't always get seen. But skill set, like I said, I got Anthony Towns, no debate. He's the most skilled big, I believe, in the league. Probably next to Cousins, but he's a young buck. Like I said, he's coming up. I think he's gonna be a more skilled big than Cousins, honestly. So skill set, I have Anthony Towns, but Davis is no slouch. Davis has skill. I just think because he doesn't utilize the post, and he's not really a post player. Honestly, I don't think he's a post player. Because he doesn't utilize that facet of the game, to me, makes him consequently less skilled. Free throws, they both shoot free throws well. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying, determine who's the better free throw shooter. I guess I'd say AD just for longevity purposes. Clutch, I haven't seen neither of the two really come up too clutch in big situations. So it's hard to determine or dictate who's the more clutch player. I know Anthony Davis did go to the playoffs and has had scarce moments of showing big in some big games, like against the Warriors in the playoffs, even though they got swept. He came through certain games. So I guess I would give clutch to him by a hair. But that wouldn't be a key determinant on choosing who is the better player. Now, if we talk about little touches, I guess, or rim attacks, excuse me. If we talk about little plays at the rim like floaters, jump hooks, or dunks, or just attacking the rim in general, I would have to have Anthony Towns again. Though I think Anthony Davis is probably the more ferocious attacker to the rack and might be more likely to dunk on your shit. I think Anthony Towns has the floater, has the jump hook, has a lot of the key moves and the key skills to get a bucket in that area without just dunking on you. Whereas Anthony Davis is just a little bit less skilled with the floater to me, a little bit less skilled with the jump hook and things of that nature. Now, if we can move on to another area, block shots. We got to go with block shots. Now, Anthony Towns is a good defender to me, too. It's just, I don't know what it is. He seems soft. He seems like a soft player to me. Like he doesn't give off the physicality in terms of imposing to other players. Let me rewind it a bit. He's not as imposing as Anthony Davis. And on the help side defense, Anthony Davis is more often there. You know, I'm not a stats guy, but I think Anthony Davis has more block shots than Karl Anthony Towns on a yearly basis. I can't be too certain of that, but from what I've seen, he's a better help side defender. He's a better thief than Anthony Towns as well. He steals better. So these two are very comparable. Two big elite centers who play. Ooh, that was a lovely move. Who play revolutionary ball, merged in with some old school tendencies, like Townie just bucked them. Some old school tendencies. But overall, right now, today, I would have to take Anthony Davis just because he's shown and proven more for a longer, substantial period of time. I would say Anthony Towns is the more skilled player, and his future, his ceiling is higher just because he is more skilled and he can turn that skill into production. And if he gets a little bit more physical to me and more imposing in that paint, he could possibly be the best center in the league. Either him or Embiid, you know what I'm saying? But right now, I got Anthony Davis. I would trust Anthony Davis much more as a player on defense and even to put the ball in the hoop. Though Anthony Towns has more moves, look, if you see right there, though Anthony Towns has more moves, Anthony Davis can score that rock and can shoot that rock very well. So, yeah, overall, I got AD. In the future, it could be Anthony Towns. But right now, I got Anthony Davis by a hair. Two great centers. Let me know what y'all think, man. Anthony Towns versus Anthony Davis. Holla at your boy, Damian Harkless. Subscribe. Peace.